Oh, thanks for the guitars. It's a quick video on buying amplifiers in general, really. It's basically, my thoughts on it are you don't really want to be listening to anybody but yourself. You want to be extremely selfish. That's where you want to be. You want to be like, I want this because it works for me. You don't want to go to a guitar shop with somebody who says, oh, buy that one over there because it's the biggest, or buy that one because it's, this guy uses it, or whatever, or your hero uses this one, you must have this one, because that's not they use. It's not what you need to use or what works for you. You need to find out what works for you. You kind of want to weigh up all the things you want in an amplifier, and then go out and find an amp that does that, regardless. And I always find this is kind of quite important, is regardless of valve or solid state. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there who say valve is better, or solid state's better, or whatever. It's like, surely if it makes you happy and you get the sound out of it you want, it surely shouldn't matter, should it? It really shouldn't matter. If you can get the sound out of an amplifier, being solid state, valve, or whatever, and it makes you happy, that's all that matters, surely. It shouldn't be like, only using a solid state amp, the beginner's amp, or using valve amps, they blow up a lot, or they cost a lot, whatever. It doesn't matter about that, regardless of all that nonsense. It's all about what you enjoy. Can you plug straight into it, get the sound you want? Can you spend hours with it, just playing on the same sound, be happy with it? And does it do what you want it to do? If you want a single channel amp, get a single channel amp. It's totally up to you. If you want 4 channels, 8 channels, whatever, it's totally up to you. Be selfish. It's all about the guitar you hear in your head. What sound are you going for? And just because you really like Eddie Van Halen doesn't mean you're going to find Eddie Van Halen's tone in a cranked up Marshall super lead. You might find it in a Roland jazz chorus with a distortion pedal in front of it. You never know, because it's good to kind of go out there and try everything you can. You might be a thrash metal guy, and all of a sudden, one day you walk into a guitar shop, try a Fender Twin with a pedal with it, and you've got that sound. Or you power break a Fender amp, and it's got enough gain in it, with your sound, just to kind of get whatever tone you want. Then obviously you kind of spend in the morning, I'll put more on the power breaker, but still, it's what works for you and what you need it to do. It's totally up to you. People can advise you, but fundamentally it's down to you, and that's what I wanted to kind of quickly talk about. Is especially working in a vintage guitar shop, you get a lot of people coming in saying, I want this, I want that, I want the other, I want I want such and such speakers in this amp because I've heard that's the best. You're missing out. You're missing out on an amp that's sat next to it, or the amp that's sat over there, or the amp that's down in the back of the shop, or the amp you wouldn't look at twice, because you don't know if that works for you or not, because you haven't tried it, because you've got you kind of tunnel vision into kind of thinking this is what I want because people have told me, or this is what that reviewer said, or this is what that person used. You don't know. You could be a jazz guy and find that a Marshall TSL 2000 whatever, TSL 60 or whatever works for you, or a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier works for you, and you could be straight up jazz guy. You could be a shred metal guitarist and find out Fender Twin works for you. You've got to try everything, and you can't be biased with the fact it's valve, solid state, or whatever. And you can't think, oh god, if I get this, people are going to make fun of me. It doesn't matter. It's what you want. Don't forget everybody else. Be happy with your amplifier. That's the most important thing, really. I just want to have a quick chat, really, about that, because being in a vintage guitar shop, you get a lot of people coming in saying, can I have a vintage Vox AC30, and they plug into it and they can't get the sound they want. It doesn't work, and then they'll leave, and they're like, oh well, I know it's obviously not the right one. Well, maybe not, but why don't you try that? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try another amp? Why don't you try a different make? I'm going to do demos shortly of an amp we've got in Old Hat. It's called KMD, and they were kind of like an 80s amp, but Bon Jovi used them a lot. We've got a single 112 combo of it. it's a Fender Super Reverb on like steroids. I know it's only one speaker, but it is on steroids, and it's 2-channel. And if you're a Stevie Ray Vaughan nut, it's perfect. If you want to sound like Stevie Ray Vaughan, all you need is this amp. You don't even need pedals. It's got 2 channels. It's got clean and overdrive, and it's just perfect for it. And it's an amp, but looks ugly. Personally, I'll say that it's ugly. It looks, ugh. But if it works, you know, perfect. You're there. You don't need to worry about it. So you know, well, anyway, so that's you'll see it in demo shortly anyway. But that, I think that's kind of a point I want to hammer home, is be totally true to yourself. Really, when you buy an amplifier, don't just kind of like buy it just because people say it's the best. You know, be happy with the amp you buy, because you don't know when you might be able to get another one. You know, there's no point going out and buying an expensive amp that you don't like just because somebody told you to. So yeah. Anyway, I hope it kind of just like, you know, just that's my view on it. You know, I just like to voice it really, because I just want people to kind of just be happy with making music. You know, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's not about what gear you have. It's about what music you can make with the stuff you have. That's fundamentally more important. You know, if you can make people happy with your amp sound, you know, brilliant. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing better, is there really? So anyway, I hope that's you know, voiced my opinion on that. Anyway, I hope it's been a bit informative. Anyway, I hope so. Fingers crossed. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you on the next demo.